Hello guys, I'm back with another Clash Royale episode, and in today's video I am gonna introduce this RG Giant Skeleton Zappy deck. So it has been popular I think in the last 2 or 3 seasons already, but the very clear difference is because of the Heal Spirit nerf. Heal Spirit doesn't kill bats or skeletons anymore. We're gonna sub it in with an Electro Spirit. Unfortunately I don't have a max level Electro Spirit, but I think a level 11, level 12 E Spirit is gonna work just fine. So I had a pretty nice win streak. I think I won like 13 out of 15 games with this deck and managed to push to close to 6k yesterday. So I'm gonna share some of the replays on how to use this deck and how to beat certain matchups, alright? So I'll see you guys in the first replay. Okay, so in the first replay here, I'm playing against a Miner Wall Breakers deck. And with this Wall Breakers, you gotta be very careful, right? So he sends a Wall Breaker alone, Electro Spirit alone doesn't do enough, so we gotta add in the Hunter. So if he has a Miner to tank, you need like E-Spirit and Barrel kind of thing. So you need to be very careful to know whether he has a Miner to tank or not. And usually now Wall Breakers deck, they usually all run buildings. So you need to be very careful, even though the Earthquake might seem like it could break through. If he plays his building early, he can cycle to a second building and double Elixir, so it's a little bit tricky. Okay, and the problem is now that you're running Earthquake, the Musketeer doesn't die. So if you had like Fireball Lock, you can kill the Musketeer, but the Earthquake doesn't kill the Musketeer. If the Musketeer stays alive, they can get decent value against your RG. So again, we meet a BMer, many BMing kits now. I don't have to do anything on the left side because the GS Bomb is gonna clean up everything, so no point to cycle anything there. So we'll let the Bomb do its job. So we go in the back here, a little miss with the E-Spirit. I'm not sure if because it's level 12 or what, but it's fine. So we gotta go RG in the back usually against this kind of decks, unless you can bait out the... because he only has one ground troop, so if you can bait out his building with your GS, then you can go RG at the bridge. But if you don't bait out the building, this is what you gotta do. Against most decks with buildings, you gotta always RG in the back. And try to cycle the second RG at the bridge. Whether same lane or opposite lane, it really depends. Okay, so yeah, because he's only playing Miner Wall Breakers, we are not so afraid of the pressure because he just uses Miner on defense there. So as long as we know that we can defend the Wall Breakers, we try to. The key thing I think in this kind of matchups is, if you cannot defend the Miner Wall Breakers, don't defend. Because I see a lot of times, a lot of people make the mistake trying to defend the Wall Breakers when you can't. So over here we try to get a nice Earthquake value. Here we got it. The Bomb kills the Miner also, and this guy's BMing like crazy because he knows that maybe he thinks that we have a great matchup with the RG Earthquake. So he tries to protect here. We go with this. Again, you see this. We go with the Hunter high, we go with that, and then we go with the Barrel. Just in case the Hunter didn't clean up, because the Hunter was for the Musketeer instead. Alright, so we did a good job defending there, and now we are all set. Again, about even in terms of Elixir. We go at the bridge to force out his Knight. We want to force out the Knight. He goes with the Knight there. Now we'll try to hook it over on outside. Unfortunately, he still has Spear Goblins. Of course, we can predict with the Barrel, but at this point, we don't have to risk it, because GS is already almost dead. So with the Bomb over there, look at that. The Miner Wall Breakers on the outside. Good pressure for him. I don't think I could defend that, so I let it go. Then I go with the RG, I go with the Earthquake. So we took the 5 Elixir lead from his Miner Wall Breakers push, and then we do damage of our own. So that is very key. Sometimes, especially on the healthier tower, you gotta let the damage go. Don't try to defend anything. Okay, so he goes one more time. Look at my hand. I have nothing, absolutely nothing to defend the Miner Wall Breakers. So don't defend. Take the damage because it's still a healthy tower. It's not the end yet. Then we try to attack here. We kind of missed with the prediction Earthquake. He plays a very nice high bomb tower. But that's it. We took the damage, took the Elixir lead, and then that's how you win it. And he's BMing the shit out of us. Of course, we are very nice people. We most probably muted him throughout the entire game. So no offense taken. He could spam emotes all he wants. We're not bothered. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next replay. Okay, so in this game, we're playing against Balloon Cycle, pretty popular deck also. The key thing against this kind of decks is they have no big spells, so they literally cannot kill your Hunter or your Zappies. But the main thing is, the Snowball with the Miner or with the Ice Golem in front will always still manage to get a hit, because once they Snowball the Hunter away, the Hunter will be far away and he doesn't get the full damage on the balloon. So you will most probably still take a hit, unless you have like Hunter, Zappies, and you kill his tank really fast, or you can get the Miner out of the way for tanking. So then that's really key. But you can afford one hit on the left, one hit on the right, that's fine, which you will see later on in this game. So because he played, he only has, usually in this deck you only have one ground tank, and I know that he doesn't have a big spell once he played like this kind of deck. So minor Ice Golem usually only means this. So now that that's what we want to do. In the previous game, we didn't force out the bomb tower, but in this game now, we did force out the bomb tower on the giant skeleton. So that is what we want. So once we force out that, so you will see over here, once I force that out, the RG is free to go on this tower. So yeah, we kind of cycle here, we got the bats there, so we also got quite nice hits here. That's quite a lot of damage from there. Then we took care of that, and no problem. We just took the minor hit, overall was still up in damage. So it was a pretty good trade overall, but now we guarantee know that most probably this is the balloon deck, even though he hasn't played the balloon. But usually, like I said, once you see Ice Golem, minor kind of cycle kind of decks, most probably is balloon. So the key again against the balloon is try not to cycle your hunter in this kind of decks. Don't cycle your hunter until you see the balloon, because once you cycle the hunter, that's when they will try to punish opposite lane. So again, you can see what we're trying to always do is once his Ice Golem is out of rotation, we want to try to use the GS more, because that's the only thing that he can do. So now he goes very aggressive here. We go high hunter in case he decides to go minor prediction. Thankfully, we got everything down early, and then we only took a little bit of death damage. We didn't even take death damage, so not a problem at all. So this one you could actually leave it because the Muskie would actually die, but we want the GS to be tanking for a bit. So we go with that. Look at that, the Musketeer is getting good value. The Musketeer is getting good value there. We don't even get a hit, just a little bit of chip from the Fisherman. So the problem again in this deck and the same in the previous replay is the Musketeer, if he does well, we will not get value. Okay, so over here you see we put all our defenses here, but we still take a hit. Because he has something to tank for, he still gets a snowball in, and usually it always means a hit with the snowball. But as long as it's a healthy tower, you can afford the damage. So we are going to go, we try to protect this lane. And then we will try, okay, so that's good, that's a good thing. We force him to go opposite lane with that. Then we know that we can again take another hit on this lane. If we want to, we take a hit, not a big deal. So we got that. And then now we can counter push on both sides if we need. See, he's spending a lot of elixir on the left also. Then we can go with this RG at the bridge, we go with the Fisherman, and then we go with the Earthquake as well. So he's spending a lot of elixir. He doesn't have his Musketeer on the field. He goes with the snowball over there, so that's RG doing a lot of damage. And then Fisherman going in for the kill, and that's it. So also, very important is always try to go in the same lane as the balloon. So now he goes with a high one, because you know it's already within Earthquake range, so no problem at all. Try to go in the same lane as him, because that also seems to go in the opposite lane, and then you can afford to take a hit. Like, he will at least have to spend 8 elixir with the balloon Ice Golem, balloon minor, or balloon Ice Golem, and then with the snowball. So that's gonna waste quite a bit of elixir from him, and then you can try to punish them. Alright, I'll see you guys in the last replay. Okay, so in this one we will be playing against Double Barrel. Double Barrel can be a bit tricky, but you generally can defend, because you're using the Hunter for the Skelly Barrel, and you have Bob Barrel for his Goblin Barrel. You can also use the Electro Spirit against the Goblin Barrel. It does a pretty good job. So we can see over here as the start, for this deck cycling, you can basically cycle your Zappies, you can cycle your Barrel at the start, E-Spirit is also possible. Fisherman you can cycle, but it's ideally you don't cycle in the back just because you don't know what he has. Not just a Giant Skeleton, but if he has a Golem Mega Knight, it's also quite a lot of damage on that tower. So over here we see we defend with the E-Spirit, not too bad. We took a little bit, few hundred damage, but that's fine. You could also Earthquake it if you really need to. Okay, so now we roughly know what he's playing. The problem is the Inferno Tower. RG Earthquake against the Inferno Tower is decent. It's not like super hard counter, because you need to think about the elixir. It's 9 elixir for 5. So it's definitely allow you to break through, but you gotta be careful. If you already baited, if your barrel's already baited out, he can then scar me after your Earthquake. So then you basically also do no damage. Then, okay, so basically at the start, as always, we're always figuring it out. Once we see the Inferno Tower, we are tempted to go with the RG, but because the Inferno is still pretty healthy, we decided let's let it go. And then here we barrel. You can actually activate the barrel, a normal barrel with a Fisherman right in the corner, opposite lane. So, okay, so over here we roughly know now what he is playing. We go with the RG because we know that it's somehow out of cycle. We are ready with the Earthquake here. We Earthquake on the RG just to get the Skellies out of the way. We get good damage, and I would say this is decent damage. And then here comes the barrel. We have to play the Hunter. And that will eat damage on the right. Okay, so not a problem. I think that was a misplay from him, and most probably means he wanted to play a princess or something. But yeah, this game will get pretty close down to the wire because he's always giving us the right pressure with the barrels, forcing out our spells.
Let's go.
So again, we go with GS in the back. We always try to build up that big push. Let the buildings go on the GS so your RG can go through. Alright, so over here he plays the Inferno early. I don't have my Earthquake and Cycle yet. So what I want to always do is deal with the Princess. Because the Princess is one of the most irritating cards when you don't deal with it. Because it doesn't cross the bridge. So now we know that he already had the Skami, so we had the E-Spirit ready. We try to get as much damage as we can. We got 1 shot. 2 shots. Okay, so good damage. So okay, so we see here we go with the Hunter on the Skelly Barrow and then Barrow to clean up on the back. That is the ideal defense. But sometimes you want to play your Hunter behind the RG to clean up the Giant Scout, to clean up the Skami and whatnot. All right, but we use the E-Spirit. E-Spirit doesn't kill the entire Skami, so sometimes the Hunter behind is also good. Again, we go with the same defense here. We go with the High Hunter, and then we go with the Barrow in the back. We missed 1, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so we have like 1000 damage lead. The question is, how are we gonna get damage? Because I'm not in a rush, because I know he has no rocket. So we can afford to play safe here. We'll go with Earthquake damage if we need. If we can get RG connections, that would be great. If we can't, that's fine, because main thing is, I can defend his stuff. As long as I get the right defenses in, I can defend. So we are not so in a rush to attack. Unless we are losing, we need the damage. I was trying to predict his Skelly Barrow, but he didn't go. So that's fine. We got the Princess anyway, and now we just gotta be careful of what's coming in next. Again, we're going with High Hunters to hopefully hook the Princesses. Okay, now we don't have the right defenses, so we got a Zappies here. Then we play the Hunter, and then we play the Barrow too, so no problem at all. And then always, as you can see, we're trying to always get the Princesses. Because I don't want those Princesses to stack up. Once the Princesses stack up, that is the huge issue. So I also never ever go in when they have Skami. We don't ever go in with the naked when you don't have like a E-Spirit or a Barrow behind. So you must make sure that you have those before you go in. So over here, unfortunately, we use the Barrow on offense to try to get some damage. So we have to defend with something else. So yeah, that's the best way. If you could use a Hunter to defend one of those one of those Goblin Barrows, then you can use the Barrow on offense. So over here you see he has 2 Princesses stacking up, which could be a problem, so we go again with the Fisherman trying to hook some of those. Of course the GS will clean up all that if the Princesses walk forward, but because he played, the Knight was being hooked by the Fisherman, so that's why we don't clear that. But you see, once we know that the time is running out, we have a good lead, so we just basically go with the Earthquake Cycle, and that's how we do it. Sometimes you can't break through. Sometimes you really can't break through because it's not easy to get a GS, RG, and Earthquake. That is a lot of elixir, especially when he is pressuring the opposite lane. Alright, so I hope I gave you guys some good insight on how to play this deck, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me a lot as a content creator, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out, guys.